So this is it. The American people have been programmed once again not to even notice. And this is scary because it is more true today than ever before. Just think about it. The recommended shots over the past 2 years that have been added to our routine immunization schedule for kids and adults, yeah, this is just coming out. But what about other things like the borrowing costs for the US government? It keeps on increasing. And what we now know is that because of interest rates rising, the cost to keep this debt has increased as well. And according to the CBO, it has risen more than 41% to $198 billion in interest payments alone. That is just over the past 4 months, meaning that we are going to spend close to $600 billion in interest in fiscal year 2023. And that is a problem. And this is a problem because even though Congress will eventually get involved in both these things, the American people have been programmed not to notice. And this is concerning because right now, everybody has their head in the sand. But again, it doesn't stop there. We also know gas prices were outrageously high over the past couple of years. Democrats said that it was all because of former President Donald Trump. Other lawmakers came out and said, no, that's not the reason why. It's all because of Russia. Russia was the reason why. However, it has only been Russia since February 24th, 2022. Before that, it was who knows what, right? And then it was the greed from these oil companies. They just wanted to increase their revenue, so they did not want to lower their prices. But honestly, what was the truth? Well, here's what I can tell you. The price increases are not over yet. We are going to see more price increases. And this is going to affect everything that we purchase because the price increases are going to start with oil. That's where they're going to start. Guess what happened just this morning? Just this morning, Russia announced they will cut output by 500,000 barrels per day. This is going to contribute to the rise in prices, and it already has, because oil prices rose by about 2%. Now, this is a problem. And according to energy experts, they are saying that lower Russian production, together with China's reopening, it should tighten oil markets further over the coming quarters, which again means higher prices. Sorry to say, but this is something that we are going to see. But the problem is, again, we have been conditioned to not notice and to just keep our head in the sand. Again, this is a problem. But we do have some good news. Here's what we do know. Remember, the entire world, and just keep this in mind, the entire world's not falling apart. There is some good things that are happening. However, they're few and far between. Some of the things that we can look forward to as of right now, for example, egg prices have come down from their recent highs of a couple months ago. This is good news because we use eggs in a lot of things. And even though this is good news, just want to warn you, there's some bad news tied into this as well. According to multiple farmers across the United States, and some of these are big farmers, the reason they are able to produce more eggs now is because they have adjusted their chicken feed, which is contributing to more egg production. But it also brings up the question, why were they didn't change their chicken feed over the course of the past year or so, but all of a sudden the chickens would not eat the feed. They just would not eat it. And according to reports, the feed was the exact same. But we know the chicken feed was not. If chickens are not going to eat the feed, there's a problem. It means it was either maybe contaminated, it was changed, who knows what it was. And that's the big question now is, are we ever going to get an answer to that? And according to multiple people, they say no. They've asked, they've questioned it, they've gone all the way up to executives, and nobody has an answer as to why the chicken feed has changed. But when it comes to prices, this is good news that egg prices are coming down. But also when it comes to prices, we have more good news as well. and that is that President Biden wants to bring back the expanded child tax credit payments. And again, I say this is good news because this means more people could have money to buy food, pay rent, and stay out of poverty. The Biden administration announced that they will target billionaires through a new tax. But according to multiple officials, they say this could be a difficult thing to get through because, again, we have a divided Congress. So this may never happen. But experts do believe the best option for providing additional relief and benefits to the American people is to bring back the expanded child tax credit payments. I am sorry to say that this would mean increase to Social Security benefits is not going to happen. But at this time, I don't see it happening anyway because lawmakers are saying that we need to shore up Social Security, shore up Medicare first, and then we can talk about potentially increasing benefits in the future. But it would not be in 2023. Chances are it wouldn't be in 2024 either. So we will see. For those with children, though, this would mean that President Biden wants to bring back the expanded child tax credit payments. This means children between the ages of 0 and 5 would actually receive $3,600 per year or $300 per month. Children between the ages of 6 and 17 would get $3,000 per year or $250 a month. Again, this would help out millions and millions of families and keep people out of poverty. That is the goal. Experts are concerned, though, that by providing this expanded child tax credit payment, and it would be a monthly payment, this would also put more upward pressure on inflation. So again, I said there's some good news and some bad news. Good news, you could get some money. Bad news, inflation could go back up. Right now it's coming down. We're going to have an answer very soon as to what the new CPI number is. But as of right now, that's the worry, is if we provide more benefits to the American people, does that push inflation back up? And the answer is unknown, but the expectation is yes, it would. So this brings up my next topic, though, and that is that SNAP benefits are ending for millions of Americans. And unfortunately, we are going to see about 16 million elderly Americans lose SNAP benefits, or the majority of it. Millions of Americans have already seen their expanded SNAP benefits get reduced, some of which have said to me that they went from $281 or $295 per month. Now they're getting like $23 to $30 per month. That is it. That is a huge decrease for millions of Americans, and this is part of the problem. Food prices are going up, and your benefits are going down. It's creating a big gap, and for millions of Americans, it's a gap they just cannot fill. But the reality of the situation is that we knew this was coming. We have known this was coming. But again, Americans were conditioned not to notice these possible changes. Why? Well, is it because we had our head in the sand? No. In these instances, no. We didn't have our head in the sand. It wasn't until cuts were being made that people began to worry. Why? Because we were being told that things are okay. Things are perfectly fine. Prices are coming down. More benefits are going out to the American people. Well, it is true and it is not true. Were more benefits going out to the American people? Let's just say the elderly. The answer is yes. Because we knew Medicare was going to negotiate prescription drug prices. All right, wonderful. We knew there was going to be a cap on out-of-pocket expenses. All right, perfect. Insulin was going to be $35 a month, no more. Right? That's great. But some of these things aren't going to take effect until 2025. That's the problem. So are more benefits coming? Yes. Are we getting them today? In some cases, no. And again, this is why I say this is it. That we have been programmed not to notice, because that's exactly what has happened. We are being told that everything's going to be fine. Prices are coming down. You're going to get additional benefits. Don't worry. Inflation is coming down. Unemployment is coming down. But when unemployment comes down, inflation normally ticks up. Again, it's a problem because the statements that we're getting, they just don't add up. So, that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates again. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Do 2 things for me. Go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Also, consider subscribing so you never miss an update. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.